There you go. Okay. All right. For those that are not here, but will get here by probably tonight or whatever, when you listen to this, tomorrow. Anyway, I just talked about that. And I'll be talking about it as we talk about Navajo government. And I think you realize that people are the most important thing. The more people that you know, the better you can have your family be strong. You can be stronger, and then your community may be strong, and your nation can be stronger. And that's why we push this idea of as relations, connections. All right, let's go to the next one. Just to let you know, if I'll send this to everybody, and let's say you didn't get an invitation to come to class, just use this Zoom link right here. And you can also just let's see, I sent an invite. Okay. In email. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if it comes. All right. So anyway, if you don't get a chance to do the Zoom, then you can call, text me, and then I'll send it to you. So today's date, the 5th. It says Monday, but it's actually that's today, Tuesday. We used to run this class twice a week, but I decided, well, I think we can get everything done in once a week this spring, even though there's only about 2 months left. So let me correct that. So on here, it'll say Tuesday. Tuesday, did you? All right, so back to review again. All right, so there, by the 30th is when we're gonna finish. So we only got March and April to really get things together, get things done. There's my hours. If you want to get a hold of me, you can just text me and then we can get together. All right. And let's go to the first. So I'll always have a day 1, day 2, day 3. So each day, like today is Tuesday, not Monday, Tuesday, the 5th. And we started at 4. And this is kind of like your personal assignment, things that you can do while you're not in class, while you're during the week. So it'll give you about a week. If you can do this in a week, you should be on board. It'll be okay. And so the first one, this assignment today, all you gotta do is press this right here, and you'll have a sheet that will say the net creation story, part 1, part 2, and all the way to part 3, and 4, 5, up to 5. So give you an example here. Here's press the button and creation story from one of
Put this under your tongue to rise up whenever you want. Today, I will reveal something almost no man knows it exists.
And that's that black world. This is the second world. It's the blue world. And then the third world is the yellow world. And then over here is the fourth world. So, ne hotish, ne hodotish, ne halso, ne halgre. So we're over here, we can come back over here through this using.
So you got about, each video is probably around 10 minutes long. And after you listen to it, then just go back and answer some questions. what is Nihotishis or Nihototish, and all you do, oh, the first thing you need to do is copy this. Don't put it right on here, yeah. Copy it. And the way to copy it, just go to File, make a copy, and you click it, and it'll say copy. So right here, just maybe keep the creation story and just put your name on it or something. Well, just put creation story and then put 2024. And once you make a copy, then you can come back and put your name in here, and then you can start. So video clips, questions, video clips, questions, video clip, question. All right. So this will be on your own. This is assignment that you're going to turn in just on your own. And the way you turn it in is just follow these. And let's see if I got my, maybe I didn't put my, oh, can you see the paper? I'll just put my video, I'll just put my email here. Just do the Gmail thing. Once you do that, then submit it, right? Just submit. Just go over here to share. That's how you can send it to me. I would copy this, copy it, go to share. And when it pops up, just, well, there's my name, but you can put my, where I do it. Anyway, you'll see paste on here somewhere. Okay. Anyway, that's how you send it to me. Whoop. Whoop. Do it again. So well, there it is. Okay, going back to this. So I will listen and answer questions. That means the video clip. And then the form is right here. Parts 1 through 5 form questions. And then you email it to the teacher, Mr. Long. All right, so that's your own activity. This is more like objectives, meaning things that you've been thinking about. And number one is I will listen and answer the questions in the worksheet. And that's this one over here. Number 2, listen and participate in the slide presentation. So I'll do a slide presentation on the first world, second world, on the origin story, because you need information from here, and you need information that I'm going to give to you, and so you can do activity 1, which is over here. Altogether, the next couple of months, you'll be doing at least 6 activities. So all those are part of the grade. This is part of the grade. This is more of the grade. If you do activity 1 through 6, that's the heart. That's what you need to do. And of course, you do a presentation. I will help create PowerPoint on the Navajo origin story, and it'll be a little twist to it. All right, I will help present my. So if you're part of a team, yeah, you're part of a team. Let's see, I got another person coming in. All right, great. We've got 21 people now. All right, cool. If you can create a team because you know each other, you can do one PowerPoint, and when you're doing it, you just switch back and forth to present your PowerPoint. Okay, I know folks over Richfield, they'll get together about 2, 3, or no more than 4. If you have a lot of kids, just go one team will be 4, one team will be 4. But also, let's say you don't have a group to be with, then you become the team. You're going to create your own activity and present that. Okay, so that's this number 3 area. We call it activity. Yeah, have relations. So you're going in your mind, you're going to be thinking, what is these stories become connection to me because this is who I am, and so it is really widespread, and you learn stories. I will help present my team PowerPoint. Okay, that's the final thing that you do. So activity 1, this is what activity 1 is. You can start anytime. I will give myself a week to finish this up. But listen to the story first, because you need the story to do this activity. You need to listen to these video clips, and I'll do a presentation. It's already 4:30, so within the next half an hour, I'll do presentation, and from there we do activity 1. Listen to activity 1. You as a team of newsmen and lady. So you're kind of like a news person. And what are you going to do? You are interviewing a person in the origin story. So maybe maybe you're going to interview first man and maybe first woman. Maybe that's all you want to do is just interview your newscaster person, right? And you're going to use PowerPoint to tell their story about this interview. And you know how to do scripts. You know, here's first man, and you're the reporter. Reporter says, yeah, husky. And then first man says, oh, yeah, and so you have this script that it don't make it too long. I wouldn't just go for 2 or 3 minutes at the most, and just have a script and use PowerPoint like I'm doing PowerPoint right now. Just use the same idea. And so you interview, tell what is happening. All right, so hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, I think we got it. All right. I think finally. Let's see if a person's coming. All right, let's see. Anyway, so you do the interview script with pictures. You can put pictures in there. I'll show you where to get some pictures. Telling what is happening. You say, okay, we're in the first world where first man and first woman are, and I'm going to interview and I'm going to tell them how they got together. You know, how did first man and first woman get together? I'm going to interview them, and I'm going to say, Mr. First man. I don't know. You can give them a name if you want to, and then tell what happened when they first met or something. And so partly it's like taking the story and adding to the story. Yeah. So if you're interviewing first man, he's going to say certain things about first woman, how they got together. So you're going to fill in the blanks. This is where your creativity will come through, right? All right. So that's the whole idea. It's kind of like you're getting ready for the 6 o'clock news tonight. All right. Anyway, tell what is happening, why you are moving to the next world, or that's if you're moving to the next world. But what is this place called? First man. What is this first? And he'll say, well, I don't know, but I think the black world is kind of the first world that I know of. You know, so you're using knowledge from the video clip and to tell your story. And finally, reaching the fourth world. Well, you don't have to go first world, second world, third world. You can just say we're just going to interview the first man in the first world. Kudo. That's it. And that's your whole story for your interview. Yeah. So you're kind of creating news. So far, anybody have any questions? Okay. You can put it in chat. Yeah. So let's say you're by yourself. Then you're by yourself. You create a PowerPoint or a slides by yourself. Okay. And let me give you an example. Okay. There's an example. So you crystal clear. Okay. Here we go. Example. How do I get there? Okay. And let's see where and okay. Enter. And let's go down and see if we can first find. And now we create creation story. Okay. This is an example. All right, here's an example of from the past, from the student. All right, so you'll have this, they will turn on their slides, and this is it. The first one was a dark world, fourth with four corners, and above those four corners were four clouds. So they're just talking about it. And okay, this is one. Let me give it one that has a script. So exit that thing. And let's see. Let's go back over here. Back over here. Find one that has kind of like a script. Try that one. View slide. Here we go. All right. Okay. Now, this is your story. You just put pictures of what you want in there. I think we got one. Okay, here we go. So here it is. Here's an example. So this person or a group decides to do one, and let's see. So you just put creation story, the name, and then we allow them to go ahead and tell their story. I'll click the pictures and they tell me go ahead, click, and then they'll talk. Interview question. Interview. So why did the third world get destroyed, and what caused it? Well, because the man and the woman began to fight against one another, and this feud also was the main cause. So the interview could make up things. That doesn't have to be the way somebody told the story. It could be just something that they're discussing. I see. Well, what are you loving about the fourth world so far? I'm so glad we had worked things out between one another, and together we grew plants, food, and even built our shelter. So that's the fourth world. All right. And what have you built so far? Well, we built two types of hogan, one called female hogan, and one made out of mud and logs that was formed into a circle. Another hogan we have built that is called male hogan that looks like a forked stick hogan. It's kind of like this one right here. But that's a tache. So they need to get a male hogan that has the entrance facing towards the east. Oh, very interesting, says the interviewer. See there, that's it. That's how far they went, and it was time for them to present, so they did that. All right. You got the idea? Anybody have any thoughts or questions? So if you don't have a team, it's okay because you can create your own. You become the team. All right. Let's pull this together. Exit that thing. All right. So let's say you're very ambitious. Oh, it's not coming back into. Oh, we'll just let it go. Okay. Let's say you're ambitious, right? So this is activity one. I say, oh, I've done activity one. What if I go ahead and do the next day? We're still doing activity one. And so we got today and then next Tuesday to finish up. So if you get yours together and you want to present your little story, next Tuesday we'll sign you up. See how we sign you up. Team one or team two, team three, or just your name. Somebody that's going to present. All right. So as soon as you finish activity two, then we want to get involved with activity one and then activity two. And then we'll explain to you activity two. And we're going to talk about the long walk. Understanding the long walk is activity two. So when you get this syllabus, which I'll send to you because now we know who you are, that's here, we'll send you the syllabus. So you'll know all the activities from as soon as you get it this coming week. All right. Let's see. I got another question. Then something come in. Oh, okay. Do that in a minute. All righty. So does anybody have any questions so far? All right. So we got about 10 minutes. And it's my turn to tell you the little story here before we leave. And then you're on your own. Well, you can text me anytime. Let's see. Let me go over here to my slides and activity. I'm several, but I can just choose one of these guys. Let's go right here. Right. Okay, this one will be best. All right, pull this over. And you can take notes if you want to, or get an idea of your activity one, as I tell the different levels of first, first, first world, second world, that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. We got another person coming in. So if you just barely join us, you're listening to my version of creation stories. So take some notes if you can, because you're going to use those to create your own interview. Okay, here we go. Hajine is the name. Ha-ji-ne, meaning coming out. The story of coming out of the ground is the idea. All right, here we go. Hajine, Bahashnet Ole. I'll tell you about the creation story. The first world was called Nehodishkish, and the black world. First man, first woman. All right. Well, before they were created, there was nothing. There was no light of any sort. And in this black world, there was a middle, Nishni in the center. Nishni, there was a being, and it could be a man, could be a woman, we're not totally sure, but that being could create, could make things come. Trying to think of the name, I can't remember the name, but they'll come to me. But anyway, there was no man, there's no woman, there's no insects or birds or ground or nothing. But there were holy beings, you know. And there were creations by the can't remember right now, can't think of more. Anyway, he or she created clouds, and they were very faint. One towards the east was called white cloud, and then to the south was blue cloud, bluish. It wasn't totally bright or anything, but you could tell it was a light, blue light, yellow light, and kind of a grayish light. This became the beginning of the four directions. So now you know that the four directions were always in the creation story, always based on the lights. The light created the four directions. All right. And then before man, before woman, it was the insects, like Wineshchidi. And Wineshchidi was an interesting character. He kept saying, oh, can't wait till I go to the second world, third world, the fourth world, you know. He says, I have a reason. My duty is in the fourth world. The question, you know. And so I don't know if you know Wineshchini. I grew up within it. Wineshchini, they're cicadas, and they make this sound when you know there's a cicadas around, makes these real strong sounds, and we used to collect them, and we used to cook them and eat them. It was kind of like food. But one thing interesting is they come out of the ground and then they produce not feathers, wings, and they begin to fly around. Okay. So when he back then, back in the Black world, says, my mission is to help in the fourth world, to dig a hole into from the third world to the fourth world. And I'll be like kind of a savior to people that needed to get out of the third world. And so that's that he was always talking to everybody about that. And he did fulfill that. And then there was the ants. In Navajo, we have a ceremony called the ant way. It's not being practiced anymore because the knowledge of that is probably gone now. Other insects like spider, and Cessna, all those were there. And then at some point, first man and first woman were created. First woman was created with bluish light and yellowish light. And those two lights came together. Then first woman was created. First woman was created. And she's known when we talk about white, when we talk about first woman, I'm not talking about changing a woman or white shell woman. I'm talking about first woman. And first woman was created by these two lights. And the corn, the yellow corn represents first woman. Okay. So if you're raised traditionally, you always before the sun comes up, you go to the doorway and there's two bag of corn, one yellow corn, one white corn. If you're a woman, you take the yellow corn and you go out to the east, and at some point you're going to let it go as you pray. Sleep. And then you say prayer, and then you say sleep 4 times. Anyway, so she had the yellow corn. So as a woman, you would take the yellow corn to every morning in your prayer. First man was created by the black light and the white light. These two got together, the lights got together, and the creation of first man. And first man, the sacred plant was white corn. So that's why the white corn was developed for the man to use in his prayers. All right. So that's the creation, the beginning. And I'm kind of figuring out there's the name now. The person that are created in the middle. I think it's what's the name of it. He's the creator of first world. But there were four holy people. I said one. And then there was a black. So each the direction had a holy being. Then there was another one in the blue. These folks were kind of like leaders, not Ani. And they kind of shared information about who these insects should be, who first man, first woman should be, how they should live, how should they, and things like that. So before I tell you why they went to the second world, I need to tell you that these two found each other. First man, first woman found each other. And first man was looking towards this direction, like south. He kept seeing the bluish and the yellow. And the more he wanted to go over there and find out if there's anybody there, slowly, and vice versa, the first woman started looking, there are lights over here, the one's white and one's, she knew about the blue and the yellow, but didn't know about the white and the grayish. And so she was also interested. So they kind of slowly worked towards each other, walked towards each other, found each other, and get to know each other. From there on, they were together. So that's that story. And then the holy beings, you know, Hashem are very, they're kind of like good leaders. Hashem is a leader, but he was his own leader. He kind of disrupted things. And there was a great argument that occurred. And that argument changed to the world where the first world was destroyed by fire. That's this yellow. Fire destroyed the first world. So all these insects, first man, first woman, they had to move to another world. And so that was the black world. But now we go into what we call the blue world. And when they got to the blue world, everything was blue. The sky was blue. The animals, new animals start appearing, like birds, the blue bird, all those things. Mai was is one of the, he actually came from the black world. But other animals, wolf, coyote, fox, all those guys they were in this blue world. Anyway, when the first man, first woman, and others that came out from the black world, came to the blue world, the door, they couldn't go past the door. So the blue world creatures, they came and said, you know, we have rules here. You got to follow rules to be in this world. If you don't follow it, you're going to be disciplined, you know. And so the people from the first world, they came and said, "Yep, I'll promise, I'll follow the rules of your world, this world, blue world." And so they all came in. They got to know each other. It's always been there, right? Relations, getting to know each other, new creatures, new animals. So it's said that the communication was more like, first it was the insects, and then slowly the other animals in the blue world, they were talking. First man, first woman, they kind of still clueless. They didn't know how to really express things. So, but the animals did, and creatures did. And so everything was good for a while. After a while, things got chaotic. The disruption, somebody got mad at another. And they say that this blue world also was destroyed. And it was the wind, you know, how the wind, not just the small one, the big wind, like the tornadoes, like the whirlwind, all those destroyed that second world. So everybody had to move to another world. This world is called the yellow world. The interesting thing about here's now it says Adoniyon benina ne hal ha'azna. So because of the wind that destroyed the second world, people came to this yellow world. de anasazu ba ilte. There were people living there already, anasazu. It's kind of like our ancestors came from another place to the southwest, the yellow world. And well, we didn't call it southwest, we didn't call it yellow world. And but Pueblos were living there. Right? Pueblos, like a group of people. Slowly again, they got to know each other. They were invited to stay here. There were other creatures that were there. So the population got bigger and bigger, right? The deer, mountain lion, the lizards, trees, different kinds of trees, the mountains. In the first world, you couldn't really see things, like wasn't physical form. Your body, the colors, the holy beings, all those, the insects, they're all kind of spiritual beings. You can hardly understand what they look like. But in the third world, the body was created. The body, in the black world, before what we call the spirit, was just the mind, thought. That's all it was, this thought. And then as they went into the blue world, then you could see the spirit form. All right. And then in the third world is the physical body. You can actually see each other. Can actually see each other. Okay. All right. We'll do one more thing here. I'm gonna send one more email real quick. All right. Someone wants to come in but not getting the info. Okay. All right. I think that will work. Okay. Here we go. So this is a very interesting, a lot of stories in the third world. Well, I'll just tell one because we need to move to the fourth world, right? So this is why they had to leave the third world. In the third world, there was the coyote, and there was another creature called Keotsodi. Keotsodi was a water monster, and the Navajos had a game called Tzadish. They're little sticks, three sticks. Both one side of the stick, each stick had a black side, a black and a white side, and two more sticks just like it. These sticks, you can throw it against a rock that sits in the middle of the game. So it's like the circle idea. All right. It's like these are the rivers. There's two rivers that crisscross one another. And you choose a man and then you go clockwise. And the first person that makes it back to the east wins the game. So they call it tzadish because of the little sticks that you had to throw. The way it lands, let's say all black showed up, all black, that means tan. So you go move tan. And then if it was two blacks and a white, it had another number like 5. Anyway, that's how you would move all the way around. And this is a fun game. So this game, I don't know. Anybody heard of the Sedish game? If you did, put it in your chat. See if we know some people. If you have, we actually created the game and we sell it here at our Heritage Language Center. And if you want to get a game, I have those games at my house at Christmas time. We bring it out, and Grandma would say, "Okay, we're gonna play a game, and here's the money. If you win, this is the money." So we add money so that grandkids can play. Grandkids can fun. Yeah, very fun. So anyway, what happened was the Navajos played the game and then found out that the Hopi people also played the game. As time went on, the Navajo, the Mai, was so interested in the game. I want to play. And finally people said, "Yo, no. You have to play by the rules. You can't make up your own rules. You got it." And they eventually had the Mai start playing the game. As he got really skilled at this, he was beating everybody. When he got skilled in playing this game, he started since he's a trickster, he started doing things that others don't do to win, right? To win. So he always had a trick up his sleeve, So everybody was really getting beaten. People were just frustrated. How come the Mighty wins all the time, He must be cheating somehow, They always say that. But then over here in the Hopi, there was another person that was really good at it, Tzaddik. And his name was Teotzori. Teotzori is Water Monster. He beat everybody, all the Hopi people. And anyway, one day somebody made a suggestion and said, "Why don't we have the Mai and Teotzori get together and play this game, Tzaddik, And so they finally agreed. They were both really good. And then they started playing. And of course, Mai being the trickster, one thing he did was he took those these sticks that he had, he would put weights on one side of it. So when he threw it, when it landed, it landed so that it was always high numbers, always high numbers. So when the high numbers would occur, he would move faster than the other person. So Teotzeri was getting beat more times than ever. They were equal at first. They would beat each other. Everything was fun. Everybody was cheering. But then Coyote got the better, meaning he started using his tricks, and he actually started beating Water Monster to the point where he was losing all the things that he would put on the table or on the ground, and Mai would win everything. Finally, Teotzeri says, I don't have anything else, nothing, And then the coyote said, Eshan Etza, I like your coat, Eshan. And finally, Teotzeri says, okay, I will do this. I will do it. So they were playing for the coat. And of course, Mike wins the coat. He dressed up, showing off. Oh, it was beautiful, warm, fuzzy, and then mute. And then he was wearing a coat and he felt something in the pockets, you know. He put his hand in there, he pulled something out, and it was a little teotsuri, little babies. The teotsuri's babies, one baby, yeah. And he quickly put it back in his pocket. He didn't tell anybody he wanted the coat, so whatever was in the pocket was his too. So anyway, after a while, he took the coat. The game was over because the outside didn't have anything else to give. They departed, but quickly found out Teotsui could not find his babies. He went all over trying to find his babies, couldn't find them. To the point he got mean because Teotsui is a whirlwind, it can destroy. And he made a statement and said, if you guys, if I don't find my babies, I'm going to destroy this world with water. And of course, that started raining, the water started coming, and people were trying to find higher ground, couldn't do it. Finally, somebody suggested, well, let's create things so that we can go up higher. But every time, nobody was creating anything that would outlast the mountain or beyond the mountains, except for one plant. It was called the reed plant. Luk'a. Luk'a is kind of, it was hollow inside, so people could actually walk and go up into the sky. So they planted this tree. It grew really big and really tall, all the way to the sky and beyond. And so that's how the people were saved, by the reed. And so they went through it, and there you'll see a little turkey right here. So turkey, grandma turkey was, she just kept taking things like, I gotta take this, and to the next world, you know. And everybody got worried because she was taking so many stuff. And then finally she says, "Can't shima-san, can't." They told on. So she finally started walking. And the last thing she took was seeds. Says, we need this. If we don't have this, we won't have any food. So she took corn seeds, all kinds of seeds, and she was able to get into the reed plant. And they say that the water actually touched her tail and turned the tail to white because of the water's edge. The foam of the water splash or went onto Taji Bitsuke, the tail. And so now today, they say that the whiteness of the tail of the Taji or the turkey, that whiteness represents that foam of the water that was coming up. Anyway, everybody made it, slowly got into the fourth world. The fourth world was so beautiful. Oh, there's mountains, tree, and all those things. But at the same time, it was wet. It was very, very wet. And when they got on top, people were wanting to settle down, but they couldn't because the water was still coming up from the third world. And everybody was worried that it was going to come out and cover the fourth world too. And somehow somebody says, you know, that Mai, he's got something in his coat. I know, I've seen it. He pulls it out and looks at it, and then he hides it back in the coat. And so they all gang up on Mai and says, Hat Ishnan Shin, what are you hiding? Show us. And of course, he finally gave it, and when he took out the object, it was a water monster baby. And everybody says, take it back down to the water. let it go, let it go. And so we finally let it go. And that was how the water began to just go back into the third world. And that's how Kehot found his baby again. Anyway, the fourth world was a beautiful world. And some people say this is a glittering world, white world. Some people say, no, this is a white world, but we're going to go into another world called the glittering world, kind of like the fifth world. So there's kind of two variation of stories here. And maybe you can research it and figure that out. Aro to bina ne. That's what it's called. Dijin kwe ika, meaning we are here in the fourth world as a people today. All right, so that is the story of Hajine. All right, so we gotta kind of start slowing down here. But does anybody have any questions, particularly about your assignment? Let me see if I can bring that back over here. Oh, exit. All right. Turn this back over here. There's your assignment. Okay. So the assignment is you go back. This one, this blue color one. And go on one more back. First day one. It's a white world kind of idea. Anyway, your assignment is one, listen, use this form to answer some questions about the video clip, which is right there. And then make a copy of it and then put your name on there and then answer the question and send it to me. Okay. So this is talking about the creation story. So you're getting two versions of the creation story. My version and then this medicine man's version. So, which is good because the more stories you have related to the same topic, you can get creative, right? And that's where your creativity of doing activity one will come. All right, any question? Oh, okay. So I'll give you the slides to this. This is and I have your email. So I'll use that to get this out to you today. I'll give it to you today. So you can start working on these video clips. Good job. Registration form. Okay. So Eileen, I'll do that. What else? I'll send one to you. Okay. So you got 1 week to come up with activity one, either by yourself or as a team. And you'll present. When you come on next Tuesday, you'll say, Mr. Long, we're ready. We can text it in here and say, we're ready. And we'll put you on the list to start that. And we'll start this class, and then in about 15 minutes, we'll have the first presentation. You can
Does it have to be a certain amount of slides, and how much time do you want us to take?
Yeah, good question. Good question. Don't use more than 5 slides, okay? When I gave that example, the one I just did, I only used 4 slides.
Okay.
And then gauge yourself. 3 minutes, maybe even 4 minutes, but I would just stay with 3 minutes. Don't go too much further. As long as you have that script that you're reading, right? Show us the script, and then you can kind of talk. You act it out. All right. Good question. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. So you did hear all the first world, second world, third world, fourth world. This same idea will be in the story over here, part 1, part 2, part 3, all the way to part 5. So you'll see his story, his origin story. All right. So why do we put the Hajime story into the government, Navajo government? Well, to the Navajo people, that's our beginning. That's how leadership started. Like in the first world, the Black world, the insects and the whole people were like the leaders. In the second world, Blue world, had its own leaders, all the way up to the third world, all the way to today's world. So we'll kind of go that direction with that. All right. I'm slowly, so what you'll see are these slides that I have right here. I'll send that to you tonight. So these slides, yeah. So all these slides will be, it's not too many, but it's there. But we'll touch on each one of these. Each time we get together, we'll have an assignment, but also a version of what I'm giving to you, and then the activity. All right? Yeah. Hagushin, I'm shut down now, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hakone.
I'm going to cat. No Yagi. Thanks for coming.
Hakone. Bye bye.
Ogana.
I'm going to.
Hey Clayton.
Yep.
I just have a quick question.
Okay.
For the Manuelito scholarship, do I also have to do the Navajo too?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Navajo 2 is somebody that wants to, let's say you go to a university that has foreign language.
Okay.
And if you want foreign language experience, you just take Navajo 2 and you can earn those grades with that without
Okay.
having to take that class.
Yeah.
So just Navajo 1 and Navajo government is the 2 that you need for the Manuelito.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
I'll go on.
I'm going to. So